Magical. I'm so happy to be back in the cinema with other folks watching a movie. When I saw it in South by Southwest, we were all laughing so much. It felt so good. There was electricity in the audience. I hope it happens again tonight, and I do recommend seeing this one in the cinema because it's that communal feeling that I've been missing for so long. Well, you couldn't ask for a nicer man than Pedro Pascal to work with, and not only is he a nice man, he's a great actor, and he brought so much to this. It was really a pleasure, and it was not unlike what you see in the movie. We had a lot of laughs off camera, and we talked a lot about filmmaking, and we shared our personal recommendations as to what movies each of us like, and so when the camera said action, we just kept the conversation going.
It was incredible. Yeah, I think it was the first South by Southwest since the pandemic started, and the celebratory energy of that night was overwhelming, and it was like a rock concert. It was really emotional, I think, for everybody. I had the best time.
I mean, I made this movie for a very short stint in Budapest, so it's so far removed from the world of America even, and the world of audiences, so I can't wait for people to laugh at it.
Para verlo, tengo muchas ganas de ver porque vi la película en un computer y ahora voy a verlo con mucho público.
I watch movie now with public because I saw it only on the computer, and with public it's a different way.
Sí, una película, una comedia sobre todo, es diferente con público.
You know, it's completely different if you watch it with public.
Pues,
the proudest moment was just being able to get this incredibly difficult project done in the time we were making it, and have this underlying thread of just joy running through it at a time that was pretty dark.
And we were sent the script about 2+ years ago, and it was super scary for him and for me because we didn't really know how it would turn out and didn't want it to get to be kind of like a sketch or anything like that. But Tom and the director, Tom GORMICAN, and Kevin Ettner are super talented, and they just did a great job both developing the script and then doing the movie. I loved what we call the heist scene and the wall scene. Those are both really funny.
I love Leaving Las Vegas, and then I have to say Pig. Pig has been my favorite movie of the year. I feel like it's amazing.
It had been set up at Lionsgate, and they were looking for, and I heard this from Tom and Etten, an adult to join the team. And they met with a bunch of people, and luckily we clicked. And I was a huge Nick Cage fan, as I feel like everyone really is, and loved their script, and we got together.
Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I said, as long as Gene Wilder is no longer with us, he's the only actor I'd want to have play me, and I don't want to play me, so I'm not doing it. And then director Tom GORMICAN wrote me a very nice letter. He's a very intelligent man, and the letter was thoughtful, and he was a true film enthusiast, and I knew this wasn't going to be like an Andy Samberg SNL mockery thing. It was going to be about real people, and that helped relieve me, and I said yes.
Amazing. He is like a genius. Nick called him the mind because he's so cerebral and on. He was incredible and very kind as well.
Well, I think so much of the bonding that happened on set translates into the movie that we see. I grew up watching Nicolas Cage movies. I really did. I probably know more about Nicolas Cage than the guys that wrote the movie. I think there were even some instances where I knew more about a movie Nick made than he did, you know? And so a lot of it was getting him to talk to me, getting the stories that I wanted to hear, and also just doing work together, really, you know, being scene partners and having long hours and figuring it out together. It was really special. I had a poster of Raising Arizona in my room, among many others. You know, I'm really in love with his alter ego, if that makes sense. You've seen the movie? Other people haven't? There's more than one Nick, and I'm really excited for audiences to see those exchanges.
He's wildly prepared. He's read the script hundreds of times, he said, which I don't think is a lie. He could be lying, I don't know. And we were mostly naked with each other all the time, which is weird, but you know, there are worse people to be naked with.
Right.
He was covering all his tattoos. I guess Nick Cage in the movie doesn't have the tattoos that Nicolas Cage, the actor, in real life has. So he was covered in body makeup, so I couldn't lick him. He's incredibly thoughtful. I imagine him just from his movies being more chaotic and sort of all over the place, but he was like very focused and centered and a great conversationalist.
Yeah, so Tom and I had worked on a television show together, and you know, it was not the greatest experience of our lives, and it was just really the idea of Nick Cage was this artist who kind of followed his own inner voice and way and path, and we wanted to kind of emulate him, and the more we talked about him, we realized how much we loved his films, and the idea was kind of born out of that.
Porque tenía que hacer muchas secuencias de acción. Nunca hice de malo, nunca actué en inglés y nunca trabajé con Nicolas Cage.
Because I had to do many sequences, you know, the acting as a bad guy. I never acted as a bad guy before, and I never did it in English with Nicolas Cage.
The crazy thing is, the more people we talked to about the script, the more people revealed to us that they were also gigantic Nicolas Cage fans. So it was relatively easy once he came aboard to get everybody else.
Everyone loves Nick Cage. This is like a celebration of his career, and it just feels good to be able to applaud this man who really deserves it and has had such a storied life and like a really fantastic, successful resume, and it feels good. And the buddy comedy thing really comes into play, so it's really fun. There's something for everyone.
We would go back to Raising Arizona, because I remember in high school, like, seeing that, I'm not joking, it was on cable, but I think I saw it, like, I had mono, and I think I watched it like 10 times the week I was home.
It was this confluence of the first in-person screening in 3 years, and then, you know, people love Nicolas Cage in Austin, and they just sort of erupted. It was just this amazing feeling, you know, it's an uplifting feeling.
There's a moment at the end of the movie where we realize we're watching Nick play himself in a movie about himself, and in the movie he gets a standing ovation. And then at the end of our film in Austin, everyone there was a big standing ovation, and it was just like the universe is bending in on itself here.
Went with a spaghetti western inspiration because he's a larger than life. He's always larger than life, and he's larger than life in this. So we went with the tremolo guitars and the big time western approach. Oh my goodness! There's a scene towards the end when Javi, his best friend, the Pedro Pascal character, sort of has a revelation, and that's my personal favorite.
The scene where Nick and Pedro are sitting in the Jeep exchanging shoes might be the most deeply weird and, to me, very funny scene in the film.
I mean, I think any scene, there's so many scenes. My favorite part of the movie is the bonding of Nick and Pedro, in that because it's so genuine. I think they actually really loved each other, and it comes through. There's moments with this other movie that we reference, Paddington 2, that I think is a big laugh and also sweet, which I think is the best part of our movie.
To laugh. We could all use a laugh right now. Comedy is king. This movie is hilarious, and I think people are going to laugh a lot.